Welcome to this live all about cracking our clients open. And what that means is just getting them to open up faster. So if you've had those clients where they are a little bit resistant with truly finding the real deep core issues and emotions and really tapping into what is going into their internal state, then this is going to help you because I'm going to answer 3 questions with regards to helping our clients open up faster. So let's just begin. The first question is, how do you help clients to feel safe opening up? And this is a great thing. And I'm going to first answer this question by talking about what does make our client feel unsafe with opening up, right? Trust is the biggest thing here. So, how did we establish trust with our clients even before they came into our sessions, right? What was that process like? What is your current client journey like when it comes to them coming to you? What was the call like for you, with the strategy call to or discovery call, whatever you have when it comes to in onboarding clients? What was that like? Because that trust is established there. So if it wasn't fully established there, then that is one of the reasons as to why they just haven't felt safe in opening up yet. And so we really want to look at that, and you want to refine that for yourself to ensure that 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 session or that call before, you have established trust already within that first call, within that first meet. And trust doesn't take a long time to actually establish. And you don't have to do the pre-talk or those mechanical rapport buildings. No, no. Contrary to what we've been taught, it is actually what we are doing within our sessions, our demeanor, our attitude within the sessions, how we are, how regulated our personal nervous system is, that actually affects this trust greatly. So you want to look at that for yourself as well. And so when once you've looked at that, make sure that those are in place and that you yourself are someone who does create that space. And if that's like, yes, Fritz, I'm good with that. How do you how do you make it faster for your clients to open up? I have met some of my clients I actually haven't met. They just sort of saw me on social media, and even within the our strategy call, they have opened up so much within the 5 to 10 minutes as to what it is needed. And a lot of time that was because of my social media presence, and I do a lot of videos, and videos are a great way to establish trust. But if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of those yet, that is fine. But how you are in your sessions is going to be very important. And what you use to help your clients actually affects this. And this is not talked about much. So prior to being a conversational hypnosis trainer, I was trained in a method where it was very structured based, like you do the induction and then you do the deepener and then the suggestibility and then you do the regression immediately. If that doesn't work, then you can try maybe having them imagine that they were 6 years old and they were in the room as a child, or you can get them to find that part of them is that has the problem. And for some clients, that may work, but for some clients, that actually won't work. And I don't want to admit this out loud, but there were some clients where it did not work for them, and I wasn't sure that it was working. And this is why they didn't open up. It's just because they their brains aren't built to be in that structure. Some clients have a very, very hard time visualizing themselves going down the stairs or following our instructions, whatever visualization type thing that we were taught. Even some progressive muscle relaxation techniques are difficult for some clients. And when they're in that place, when we're telling them to relax their body, and they have a hard time relaxing, and they're like, it's not working because I'm not relaxed, I'm just stressing about it, they're not going to open up, right? That opens up the resistance. So we want to see it from their perspective. And so how do you keep your clients safe? Well, apart from making sure that we are in a really good state to help a client, making sure that if you do find that resistance, that you just want to talk, right? You would just want to have a conversation with them first. Be curious instead of rushing them through the session, right? Be curious instead of going, okay, well, I got to do this and this and this and this and this, and we got to do this. If this doesn't work, oh, I'm frustrated now. And then now we got to have that next session next week, which is really, if you look at it from a client perspective, isn't really client centered, right? Because it's very structured and rigid. And we know as humans, we are dynamic, and that just doesn't work very well. And so you want to look at that. You want to really, really look at that. And so I just have a conversation. Just be like, okay, what's the problem? I have insomnia. Okay, tell me, how is that a problem? And just start with that. And just, again, be curious. Curiosity is the biggest concept that we teach inside our advanced conversational hypnosis sessions. And you cannot believe the power of just staying curious and actually just asking our asking our clients questions. I see it inside the trainings. I have this one student who was like, at the beginning was writing things down, and then, he just allowed himself to ask the questions and be curious with the clients. And of course, his questions just got a lot better in terms of the quality and depth, because it's just so damn simple, right? We forget these very simple things because we were taught it in a certain way, and we forget that just by being a kind human being, a curious human being, obviously with all our expertise, is actually what helps our clients have that breakthrough and helps them open up. So I hope that helped. Question number 2 is, I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface with some clients. Any tips? Great question. So inside our conversational hypnosis trainings, we call scratching the surface as spinning around the symptom. So I have insomnia. I can't sleep. I think about all these things. My thoughts are just intrusive. I think about the things that I've done and not done today. And then I stress about tomorrow because I can't get shit done. And like, if that conversation is what is going on in your sessions, that's surface level, right? It can work. It can work. It can help your clients to relieve their insomnia, but again, it's surface level, right? It just takes the edge off. But what we really want to start going deeper is that once we go deeper, obviously, as you know, results get better. So this is how I know that I'm in the right direction, is that the context of our conversation becomes very strange. That's when we're going down the path of the unconscious communication, right? If they're thinking, if the conversation is still about like, I can't sleep, I can't do this, and then this happens, and then my partner snores, and it's so annoying, blah, 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 blah. If the conversation is based on their actual experience externally, then that is scratching the surface. So how do you actually get to the deeper layers? Well, you want to ask about what their internal experience is with regards to their problem. Like, so, okay, so what happens when you're thinking about all of these things, when you're pissed off that your partner is snoring? Like, what happens to you? And just by the frame of that question, you can hear the different type of information that that person would need to retrieve in order to answer that question, right? So instead of saying, okay, like, tell me about your insomnia, and they talk about their partner, and then what actually happens when we ask about their internal experience. Okay, so what happens when you hear your partner snore and you have all this shit to do tomorrow? Who knows? You might actually uncover some marriage problems, right? Or not. But these are the things that you want to think of. This is higher level stuff, and this is exactly what we teach in ACH, right? Because once we get to their internal experience of what actually happens to them, how much more powerful do you think that transformation is? Instead of just, bitching about their partner, they're actually looking internally within themselves to see how they are responding to the situation. Maybe they are just so stressed out about their business that they can't sleep, and they have, maybe they've risked a lot in their business, or it's not going as expected. then we can help them change whatever that is, that biggest stressor that is affecting that insomnia, that sleep, right? Because we all know as humans, we require sleep. Like it is a necessity. So think about it that way, right? Like there is um we are more than capable of sleeping well. We are more than capable of being confident in whatever we do. We are more than capable of achieving whatever it is that we want to achieve. But there are knots and debris that are stuck within our path that we want to clear out for our clients so that they get there naturally. And that is what hypnotherapy is supposed to do, right? Help our clients clear that debris. And so if we're just doing surface level stuff, we're just clearing out the surface level debris. But when we're actually like asking them about the internal experience, that is where we clear out that full debris so that they'll just naturally take action on it. And that's how we get to those deeper layers to have the lasting breakthroughs. So I hope that helped. And third question is, how do I become more efficient inside sessions? So overall, in general, what you want to do is you want to look at your sessions and what you're doing within them. Like actually write down the process. Like write down the process. Like this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the induction, and then I'm doing the deepeners, and then I'm doing the suggestibility, and then I'm doing this much. And you look at those different processes and see which are actually helpful when it comes to helping your clients. Like, is the induction really helpful? Like, is going down the stairs or counting 10 to 5 or doing some fractionation technique, is that really going to help your clients to find their breakthroughs? Really being honest and looking at that to see what actually influences results, not the hypnosis, the results, right? Um, and when you actually see the things that aren't needed and you want to test this out, then that's when you take that shit out, right? Because if you're finding that you're doing progressive muscle relaxation and then you're doing another induction, how long does that take you to finish? 10 to 15 minutes? Is that necessary? Can you lower that down to maybe 10 minutes? Is that like again, is that process necessary? Is telling them to go deeper actually going to help you solve the problem? Just something to think about, right? Because in our advanced conversational hypnosis sessions, we don't bother with any of that shit. That's why it is efficient. So you want to look at your process, and if you do want an efficient way to help clients, just jump on board to the ACH program. It's going to change your business massively, and you can sign up today, learn today, and then binge watch all that shit, and then by the end of the week, have your next client session and really improve the results. That's how powerful it is. But if you're not there yet, really just look at that. Like have a strategic look as to what you're doing, how you're doing it. Is it necessary? What is working? What is not working? Take out the shit that is not working, focus on the shit that is working, and and go from there. If you're finding that most of the work is in the investigation phase, which is what I actually found, I found that the biggest breakthroughs were through doing the parts work, the inner child work was kind of like meh to me. The regression was also meh. So it was really through investigating and talking to my clients about their internal experience that actually was what was helpful inside the sessions. And so lo and behold, I find something like ACH, advanced conversational hypnosis, that just focuses on the investigation phase. And that just makes sense and it makes it more efficient, right? So look at that, look at your processes and take out the things that you don't need. That is it. Super simple. I am all about simplicity. We can make it easy for ourselves. And really that is also one of the ways that you can help your clients open up faster, because if you're efficient in your process, if you've learned to filter out what information you actually want from your clients and need for your clients to have a breakthrough, then of course your results are going to get better, which helps that trust and then just helps your clients open up faster. So just as a summary, how do we keep clients safe? How do we keep our clients? How do we, oh my God, how do we help our clients to feel safe opening up? We um, look at ourselves and see what we are doing right before our sessions to ensure that we set our clients up so that they fully trust us within that by the time they get into the first session, and also being very attuned to our clients and knowing that, you know, if we're doing that induction and it's like their face is like their eyes are closed but they're like this, they're probably not responding very well to that induction. So having the ability to shift gears is going to be a great way for them to start opening up, and just being very curious with the person in front of us without agenda and without judgment. Easier said than done, but that is really what's going to help them open up. And if you want to if you no longer want to scratch the surface and go into the deeper layers, ask your clients questions that have to do with their internal experience instead of the external experience. And the way to become efficient at client sessions is look at what you're doing, take out the shit that you know is not really working well for most and a majority of your clients, and hone in on the things that are working within your sessions. So I hope that helped, and I will see you next time.